Hi everybody on the web. Okay, I'm making this video now because you all need to know about this. There is this new application called Rowmote, Rowmote. It's for the iPad, and what it basically does is turn your iPad into a remote control for your computer. Now, I am fortunate in this situation to have my laptop computer hooked up to my widescreen television. You can kind of see in this picture that it's mirroring everything that is being done on my computer. Now, for 99 cents, you can get the basic version of this program. The basic version is actually quite cool. It does a large amount of things, and including the ability to flip in between your applications at will. There's a little button down here called Applications. You just tap it, and then here are many of the applications running on your computer. You can see here listed, I have Front Row, Finder, Safari, Firefox, iTunes, etc. Things like that. And you can see that if I type on Safari, boom, up comes a page here, and you can see there's Safari. There's my Facebook page. Now, keeping the camera on the television here, if I click on iTunes, there's iTunes. It's very quick. It reminds me of using a computer, but the interface reminds me of using an iPod or Touch or an iPhone or an iPad. I mean, it's touch interface, but it's interfacing with your desktop or laptop. This laptop here was built before they even put the multi-touch trackpad into the laptop, which is great because now I don't need to have a multi-touch trackpad to interface with the OS in this style. And I'll show you some of the other things that it can do. So here is the application jumper. That's kind of what I call it, and I'm going to go to Front Row. Now, Front Row is basically what your Apple TV would be. Front Row takes a couple extra seconds. It boots up, and here's basically what you see via your Apple TV. Now I can scroll through all this stuff just with gestures on my iPad. Very simple. Just flick, flick, flick. And flick, and there it is. I mean, it's great. So there's music. But I think the greatest thing with the basic version of this program, at least for me, I don't know how much of this you can see here. It's kind of blurry. Is Photos. Photos is amazing on this. You just tap on a photo, it starts to play in a slideshow automatically. You just hit the pause button and it stops. And you can flip through your photos. The same way you would flip on an iPad or on an iPhone through your photos. It makes, there's the program iPhoto, of course, on your computer. But, and you can get to Front Row through your, through the little remote control, little white remote control that comes with your desktop or your laptop, whatever you have. But this is just so much easier, especially from the home control perspective. So, you can, of course, if you're on a web page, start and stop videos. You can, change the volume level on your computer with these plus and minus buttons here. You have menu options and just some nice little things that displays what program you're in here. And it has some nice features. So this is the 99-cent version. Now I upgraded to the full pro quote-unquote version, which is what they call it. Now, if I double tap multi-finger gesture, you can see I keep going out of Front Row. I keep going up one level of folder organization, which is great. So now I'm back in my iTunes. If you get the Pro version, there's this little mouse pad, or this little mouse button right there. And if I click on it, this now becomes the trackpad for the computer. And that is really what changes everything. So you can see, hopefully you can see, I don't know if you can see the little mouse right there, moving around on the screen. There it is. So if I went to all of my music right now, I've got a specific album selected. I can just click out of that. I'm in all of my albums, and let's just give you a concept of what this is like. I've gone full screen, and I can use two fingers, multi-finger gesture, and just swipe side to side, and you see that I can scroll through my music very easily from my iPad through my computer onto my television. It's a very, very interesting kind of link in the chain here, the way it works. And if you want to play something, you just double click on it. And there it goes. I mean, even though it's not something I really want to listen to at the moment, so I'm going to pause it. And basically that's the same thing. I mean, web browsing is fantastic, and I'll show you one of the really great things about web browsing with this formula. What you do, here's Yahoo. If you want to see something like, here's that progressive girl, everybody knows her. If I want to see it, I can make the screen larger the same way that I would on an iPad or an iPhone. All I do is pinch. Same thing, and you can see now that I have made this ad extremely large on my widescreen. That's all you have to do. It's really quite cool. And to get out, same thing, you just reverse the process, and I am right out. You can do this on your computer. The nice thing about this is now, instead of cluttering up my space here, with a keyboard and a mouse, it's just my iPad. It's my, very thin, normal iPad. That's it. And the remote will change orientation the way you would expect it to. And to have this here is very handy. Now it also has a keyboard. Let me see if I can get this to focus again. If I go into the Google taskbar up here, and let's say I want to know about, let's say I want to know about dogs. So there's a little keyboard button here. You just tap on it, same way, keyboard comes up, there it is, and then you just type in D-O-G-S. There you go. Okay. Dogs, return, and it does the search, and there you go. This very easily drops back down, and there's your trackpad, and you can just start to browse again. And I like to zoom in here a little bit, and then I can click on this Wikipedia article, and there I am. I'm browsing on my television. Can size different cells. It's extremely easy to do. I've played strategy games, real-time strategy games on this using this device here as a mouse instead of a real mouse. Granted, it's not the same thing as clicking. Now, you can switch this interface over. If you just want the trackpad, you click on this little button and you just have the trackpad, which is kind of nice. And you can see there is the right and left mouse button right here. So, this all gets out of the way. You can even touch your hand outside of the trackpad, and it still responds. It's very nice. It still responds just normally. And there's a little dog, and I want to make the picture of the dog larger, and on my television I do so. So that's it. It's a great program. So if you have an iPad, and if you've hooked any kind of computer, any Mac computer up to a widescreen TV via an HDMI port, it's a very handy program at a great price. So I highly recommend it. Again, it is called Rowmote. The basic version is 99 cents. The full version is $5. And I love it. I'm a huge fan, and I'm spreading the word. So download Rowmote and enjoy.